Hello there! I'm just gonna try to skip the big introduction and will explain to you how I made this hook for the One Piece character Sir Crocodile. I will try to explain what I did and how, but that doesn't mean you have to follow each step completely. You can always do your own thing a little bit and make things different because this is a very creative project, so why not be creative yourself, right? With that in mind, let's get to it. You start by inflating a balloon. You need to make sure it is bigger than your fist, because by the end of this, you're going to be holding the hook from the inside. So yeah, make sure it is bigger than your fist. Next, you're going to need some wallpaper paste. I had some with powder that you just have to mix a little bit with water and let it sit for a few minutes. Then you grab some old newspapers and cut it into little stripes. Now you apply both on the balloon. First some of the paste, then some newspaper, and repeat. Around 3 layers of newspapers on the balloon should be good enough for this. Just make sure that the newspapers are really covering the balloon and that there are no empty spaces besides this little one. After you've let it completely dry for hours, you can pop the balloon. Just make sure it doesn't fall down. Never mind. Now you can cut an opening big enough for your hand into it. Make sure it isn't that small that you barely get into it. You really should comfortably get your hand into this. However, because I want to grab onto something inside the hook to control it better, I want to insert a handle. But to know where to put it, grab a pen. A sharp pen preferably, but just any pen will actually do. You stick your hand in the hook and determine where you want the handle to be. Then you press against the outside till there's a light hole. Be careful with that, but make sure you have a mark and know where you want it to be. Repeat on the other side. You can use anything you want as the handle, as long as it is sturdy enough, and you can still shorten it to the needed size. I just took some leftover foam that I still had, folded it, and in between the folds I hot glued a little bit of wire. Cut the holes big enough for your handle to fit through. Then you stick it in there till it comes out on the other side. Cut off what's sticking out and hot glue it again. Now you can grab the hook from the inside and it doesn't fall off. Now this might be the weird part. You use plastic wrap and wrap it around the hook. Then you cover it with tape. Mark where you want the different layers to be and write down which one is which. Cut them off and cut each ring into 3 pieces. Trace those pieces down on the foam and cut it out. Glue them down on the hook. Always make them a bit longer to make sure they are never too short. You can always cut something off, but if they are already too short, it's kind of difficult to fix that. Each new layer needs to be a little bit longer than before because it will lay on the foam. Now cover it with newspapers again. Now we can start making the actual hook. First cut out the shape and size that you want on cardboard. Draw it twice on styrofoam and cut it out. Cutting the shape out is a bit difficult and messy, so rather cut it out bigger since you can still fix it later. I'm also doing it directly above a trash can to avoid the mess everywhere. Then cut the cardboard hook into a smaller shape and glue it in between both styrofoam pieces. Now you can keep cutting it into shape. I'm using the styrofoam cutter that heats up to melt it, but you don't need it. Sometimes a normal cutter is even better. I've made enough props out of styrofoam to assure you that it can work. I even broke off the tip of the hook once, but I just glued it back. So you don't have to worry if something goes wrong. You can usually fix it. Grab tape and completely wrap it around your hook. Sometimes it's easier to use little pieces. Cover it with multiple layers of newspapers once again. Cut a hole where your hook is meant to be and glue a piece of foam against it from the inside. When you now glue the hook together, it will be stuck to different layers, to the outside and inside. You don't have to do this, I just felt more safe this way. I added a strap of foam here and there. We finally have the last layers of newspapers to apply. And the probably most unexpected thing that you might or might not have at home, wall filler out of a tube. Apply a little bit more in the areas that need a little bit of a correction. Add little drops of water with your fingers to get a smooth finish. Now we're almost done. I quickly added some fabric to the opening. You can do this, but don't have to. I just wanted to have something soft against my skin there. Paint it with normal acrylic paint. I always do black first and then the gold. But if you want to, you can start with the gold right away. You could leave it like that already and be finished. I personally wanted to add some details, but this is all up to you. Maybe I will add more details over time. And now I will try to turn myself into Sir Crocodile to show you how it all looks together. This is not a finished cosplay, but it still shows off the size and design of the hook. Feel free to follow this tutorial. If you created anything based on this, I would love to know. As I've already mentioned, you can always change things up and really make it your own. Thank you for watching, and don't let the banana wannies bite you. Bye!